Hi, my name is Afia Oheni Frimpong. My experience in social work is nil. I am currently in advertising and communications. That's my background. I did take a year's worth of psychology and psychological research courses at Temple a couple of years ago because I was anticipating looking at psychology PhD programs at the time, and this job that I have now in advertising sort of came for me. I was not looking for it, so I was temporarily derailed. But the goal is to be a therapist, and so I'm happy to be back in a program with that goal in mind. What led me to the dual degree? Like I said, I think it stemmed initially from a desire to be a therapist, and that really stemmed from my time in Los Angeles. During that time, Black Lives Matter was sort of big in the news, and nobody was really checking in on the mental health of the people in these communities. And it got me frustrated. That sort of led me down a path looking at different programs and really sort of trying to understand how I wanted to get more involved in mental health at the time. And family stuff brought me back to Philadelphia, which is where I'm from. And so I was here, and so I decided psychology was it. And I thought, because I look for therapists, that I always look for PhDs, I thought I needed this PhD. I ended up talking more and more with friends about the things that really move me. And I think that just sort of getting older, I'm 42 now, and being more honest with myself about the things that move me and my strengths and my real interests led me to the human sexuality end of it, because human sexuality and just sexuality in general is something that I've been very passionate about my entire life, since I was very, very young. And I love the power of sex and sexuality and self-awareness and self-empowerment. And I see how issues burden people and how they bring it into their family lives and into their work lives. I sort of survived a difficult situation in college that I would stop short of calling assault. Difficult, abusive marriage, which I would definitely call assault. And a difficult divorce, and the loss of my only sibling, my brother, and all of the experiences and how they affected me sexually. And I appreciate the fact that I have been gifted with a positive attitude towards sex and all that it can bring, and help you survive. And I feel passionate about helping people find positivity and strength and personal empowerment through um, personal sexual connection and sexual connection with others. Like I said, I'm a little bit older, and I am particularly passionate about aging populations. About changes in your life and your lifestyle, about having children, about surviving disease and loss, and how to survive what that does to your sexuality. And so that's kind of my passion. Which of the two 10 points? I chose 2 and 5. Gender expression is a social construct. I like this one because, particularly in the Black community, we do have some very hard, fast ideas about gender expression, and of course that's a complex. It's a complex concept for us because of how we were sexualized as slaves. So I see what it does to us, and I see how it inhibits us from true happiness and true pleasure. And so I'm very, very encouraged, specifically about Black men, and helping them sort of break out of their own norms and recognize, what they're sort of missing out on. So I'm very enthused about that. And then we are all sexual beings was number 5. Clearly, like I said, I'm a sex cheerleader, and I do believe that. And I'm very excited about the things that I've learned so far in my first year here at Widener, about how different populations that I'm less familiar with have found their way to sexual awareness and pleasure, how differently abled people are able to connect, how people are, on their spectrum of sexuality, and finding, freedom. I like that sort of empowerment, and helping people find what it means for them individually to be a sexual being.